I've got magnets, I've got candy, we might get a little dirty, we're going to play with guns, you'll just have to trust me on that one. With that kind of a sales pitch, can I attract any children to come front and listen to my story? I know it's not in the bulletin, but we have a children's story planned for this morning. We're going to talk about forces at work in our lives, and especially how the life force of Jesus and the cross is important to us as Christians. Bum 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 bum. May the force be with you. Have you ever heard that quote from a movie? May the force be with you. Star Wars. Good for you. I didn't think anybody your age would have heard of that quote. It's a famous quote from a movie. It's from a long time ago in a galaxy far away, and I thought you had to be over 40 to even know that it existed. But the hero of the movie is a young boy named Luke Skywalker, and he is challenged to feel the force as he is trained, sometimes blindfolded, to use a lightsaber and fly a star cruiser in a plan to save the galaxy. Well, I'm not going to train any of you to be Jedi warriors this morning. That's not what we're here for. But I want to talk about other kinds of forces this morning. We're going to have some fun with magnets. But first, I want to bring you up on some current events. You know what current events are? Things that just happened recently. We call them current events. Whenever I teach Sunday school, I like to spend the first couple minutes bringing my class up to date with things in the news that I think are appropriate to what's going on in our lives. And last Monday was a special day for us here at Nestville Mennonite Church. I don't know if you know it or not, but just last Monday, January 12th, 6 days ago, our church hired a new pastor. Do any of you know his name? Hunter Hess. And I heard there's two kinds of people when it comes to Pastor Hess. Those that like him and those that haven't met him yet. So I hope we all get to meet him soon. Well, later on that same day, that same Monday, two teams played for the national championship in college football. I can't seem to remember who won the game. Do any of you know who the best college football team in the nation is? Ohio State. It's like music to my ears. Well, there again, I didn't think any of you would know the answer to that, so I brought some cue cards, and I thought you could help me learn how to remember this. So if you'll read this out loud for me, you guys over here say these two letters. O-H. Very good. Now you say these two letters. Now let's do that a couple times, getting a little louder each time. O-H. I-O. O-H. Okay, very good, very good. I think I got it now. I also think it'd probably be the last time I'm allowed to teach the children. We'll see how that goes. And if, by the way, if any of you would like to have the words to that, I can print them up for you later on. Okay, you can go back to your parents. No, I'm just kidding. Just getting started. I think magnets and their forces are very interesting. Not only are they important for generators, electric motors, credit card security, MRIs, but we also use them to treat a medical condition in cattle. Some of you know I'm a veterinarian, and we use magnets to prevent and treat a disease called traumatic reticuloperitonitis. No, I'm just kidding. We don't like to use big words. We just call it hardware disease. This happens when a cow or a bull accidentally eats something like a wire or a nail, and that could poke a hole in their stomach. Do any of you know how many stomachs a cow has? How many? 3. That's close. More than one you got. Or I wouldn't be asking the question, right? Good. Very insightful. 2? We got 1, 2, and 3 covered. Let's keep going. 5. Okay, we're missing the magic number. 4, that's right. Well, one of those stomachs is called the reticulum, and by gravity, it's where a lot of these pieces of metal go down into, like nails and pieces of wire. And so what we do, if I can find the clean one, we don't put one in that has nails on it. This is the gun we're going to play with, so you know this is called how do you get a cow to swallow a magnet? Here, you want to swallow it? You use a pill gun. You put that in there and you introduce that back into their throat, and then you push the trigger and it goes into their throat and they swallow it. Isn't that cool? Would you like to swallow a pill like this? If any of you parents, better leave this over here. I brought some magnets with me this morning, and we're going to do a few tricks here. We're going to start out with a simple one, and I'm not sure it's going to work with all these other magnets around, but did you know you can make a compass with a magnet and a string? If I hold it away from all my other magnets, if I hold this out here and stop it from swinging, there's only one direction that'll end up. I can never get that to point over here. It's always going to go back. Where's it pointing? North and south. You're a genius. Why is it pointing north? Because of the North Pole, the magnetic North Pole. Which pole of the magnet is pointing north? There's two poles in a magnet, north and south. Which one points to the north? This one does, and that's the opposite. It's south. Opposites attract. You'll learn that. Parents learn that when their children start dating. Another one. All right. Who's got real fast hands? I'm going to have you do something here. I want you to drop this magnet in the top with one hand and catch it with the same hand. Could you stand up here for me? I want you to drop it in. No, same hand. You have to catch it with the same hand. Okay, let's try again. Almost. Okay, now, that was a plastic piece of pipe. This is a copper piece of pipe. See if the magnet sticks. Here, we need that back. I want you see if this sticks to them. Does it stick to the pipe? Copper's non-magnetic, right? So it's not going to stick to the pipe. Now I want you to drop it in and catch it. Pretty cool, huh? I think it's a guy thing. I did this for hours. There's a force in there. It's Lenz's principle. It's electromagnetic. It electrifies the pipe, and the force field slows it down. Okay, this one is where we might get a little messy. Oh, candy comes later. You know that. If I give you candy now, you'll leave. I'm not as dumb as I look. But I have to have you promise not to touch this, or your parents will get madder at me than making you cheer for Ohio State. So what we're going to do is pour a little of this special fluid in here, and don't bump it, because you're not really supposed to have this stuff. Now we're going to make a magnetic flower. I want you guys to keep an eye on this as I pass it around here. Watch what happens when it gets to the middle. You all watching? And the congregation can't see it, and that's okay. It's not about them.
Oh, sulfur.
See that?
Sulfur. You put sulfur in it.
Pretty cool, isn't it? That's a magnetic flower.
Sulfur.
Isn't that cool?
What happens if you lift it?
One more time. If I lift it, the same thing happens. There's actually a magnet down underneath the paper towel. So now you have to give me a minute to soak this stuff up, or we're going to be in a real bind. Okay, now I want you guys to help me with something. I have a magic plate, and I want you to each throw a little round ball into this plate. Can you each take one?
Those aren't little round balls. Those are BBs.
Yeah, but I didn't want to say that. We're each going to throw a BB into this magic plate.
Did you know that I own a pellet gun?
Oh, did
and
you?
I got it for Christmas. Did you bring
Okay. No, just throw it in here, anywhere. It doesn't matter. Just throw it in there. Watch what's, and you're going to watch what's going to happen. Just throw them in there.
I also own
Might need a few more.
I got it stick one.
Just keep throwing, one at a time, one at a time. We don't want to leave BBs all over the church. And I want you to see what you...
People might think there was an attack.
And we're going to... All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Hey, it looks like a cross, doesn't it?
You are astute beyond your years. So we can show the congregation what happened there.
You put a cross. It's a man.
Can I eat it?
You put a
What?
cross.
Can I eat it?
No. That's the force of the cross.
You
Probably just a bunch of magnets.
Yeah, it's just a magnet that isn't a cross.
Now that's the force that I like to think of when we go to Star Wars movie. When I hear Obi-Wan Kenobi say, "May the Force be with you," I think that us as Christians have a special force. And it's Jesus and the cross and what he did for us. When we need to train for something like Luke Skywalker did, or make an important decision, we should look at it. Look at the cross and imagine Jesus saying to us, "May the Force be with you." But as Christians, our force is a little bit different than the force that Star Wars movie is talking about. And I also want to show you, where's my magnet? It's kind of like, watch this magnet. This is a Christian, and my cross represents Jesus. If you get close enough, they draw to one to another. They meet each other halfway. I just saw the release for the new Star Wars movie. It's called The Force Awakens. And I thought, wouldn't that be nice if us as Christians, it meant for us to reawaken our force with Jesus. I have one last magnetic trick, and it's something that we did as children in church in order to stay quiet. We had something called tricky dogs, and I think that there's some people here probably know what they are, but we didn't have cell phones. Tricky dogs are things that we used to do it with a hymn book. There's a white one and a black one, and you could put them around, and you could make them run around. This is probably why we didn't develop a lot of apps, but. And you can make them do fun things together. So I want to give each of you a pair of tricky dogs today.
Can you eat them?
No, you can't eat them. You should probably ask your parents if the tricky dogs are okay for you to play with, because I'm from a time long ago and maybe a galaxy far away, but I think some of the rules may have changed a little bit on the size of things that you're allowed to play with. And, well, we played with little magnets and we didn't wear seatbelts. I'm just glad to be here and tell my story. So if each of you want to reach in here and grab a set of tricky dogs and a pack of Smarties, you can then really go back to your parents.
See ya.
Yeah, just one at a time.
It's more like 3 at a time.
I think it's 2. Really? Oh, yeah, you did.
Ask your parents if you can have those and play with those magnets. Okay. Thank you. Did you get what you wanted?